Hello everyone. Today we will continue chapter number 10 circles. We will start with theorem 10.8. It states the angle subtended by an arc at the center is double the angle subtended by it at any point on the remaining part of the circle. It means that the angle subtended by the arc PQ at the center POQ is double the angle subtended by it at any point, that is POQ, which it means we have to prove that angle POQ is equal to twice of angle PAQ. Now we'll start with in triangle AOQ, angle OAQ plus angle AQO is equal to angle POQ because of exterior angle property. Now since in OA is equal to OQ, since they both are the radius of the circle, we can say that their opposite angles will also be equal, which means angle OAQ is equal to angle AQO because of isosceles triangle property. Now we can say that angle BOQ, we will use this equation in this. It means angle BOQ is equal to twice of angle OAQ. We'll mark this as 1. Now similarly, in triangle OAP, OA is equal to OP as they both are the radius of the circle. Therefore, angle OAP is equal to angle OPA. Why? Because opposite angles of the equal sides are equal. So now in triangle OAP, angle OAP plus angle OPA is equal to angle BOP. There is an exterior angle property. Now we will use this in this equation, which means angle BOP is equal to twice of angle OAP. We'll mark this as 2. Now we will add 1 and 2, which means angle POQ plus angle POP is equal to 2 times of angle OAQ plus 2 times of angle OAP. Now angle BOQ plus angle BOP is equal to angle POQ. Similarly, we will take 2 common and angle OAQ plus angle OAP, which means angle POQ is equal to twice of angle OAQ plus angle OAP is equal to angle PAQ. Hence proved that the angle subtended by an arc at the center is double the angle subtended by it at any point of the circle. Theorem 10.9. It states that angle in the same segment of a circle are equal, which means angle PAQ will be equal to angle PCQ. We have to prove that angle PAQ is equal to angle PCQ. So in this circle we can see that angle PAQ is equal to half of angle POQ, since the reason is that the angle subtended by an arc at the center is double the angle subtended by it at any point on the circle. Now similarly, angle PCQ will also be equal to half of angle POQ, and the reason is same. Now by comparing 1 and 2, we can see that angle PAQ is equal to angle PCQ. Therefore, angles in the same segment of a circle are equal. Now theorem 10.10. If a line segment joining two points subtend equal angles at two other points lying on the same side of the line containing the line segment, the 4 points lie on a circle. It means that the point A, B, C and D lies on the circle. Theorem 10.11. It states that the sum of either pair of opposite angles of a cyclic quadrilateral is 180 degree. Cyclic quadrilateral means all its vertices lies on the circle. So this means that ABCD is it is given that ABCD is a cyclic quadrilateral. It means that angle A plus angle C will be equal to 180 degree and angle B plus angle D will also be equal to 180 degree. Since the sum of either pairs of opposite angles of a cyclic quadrilateral is 180 degree. Now theorem 10.12. It states that if the sum of a pair of opposite angles of a quadrilateral is 180 degree, the quadrilateral is cyclic. So it is the converse of theorem 10.11. So in this, if opposite angles of a quadrilateral is 180 degree, that is, if angle A plus angle C is equal to 180 degree or angle B plus angle D is equal to 180 degree, then we can say that quadrilateral ABCD is a cyclic quadrilateral. Example number 3. It says that AB is a diameter of the circle and CD is a chord equal to the radius of the circle. AC and BD when extended intersect at point E. We have to prove that angle AEB is equal to 60 degree. So in this circle, AB is the diameter, which is the longest chord. Therefore, since the angle subtended by a chord at the center is double the angle subtended by it at any point, we can say that angle ACB is equal to half of angle of AOB. Now AOB is a line, therefore angle AOB is equal to 180 degree, which means half into 180 degree. Therefore angle ACB is equal to 90 degree. Now in line ACE, angle ACB plus angle BCE is equal to 180 degree since they form linear pair of angles. Now angle ACB is 90 degree. Angle BCE is also 90 degree. Now in triangle OCD, in this we can see that OC is equal to OD is equal to CD, which is given to us. Therefore we can say that triangle OCD is an equilateral triangle. Now in an equilateral triangle all angles are 60 degree. Therefore angle COD is equal to 60 degree. Now angle COD is equal to twice of angle CBD. Now angle CBD is equal to 1 by 2 into 60 degree. Angle CBD is equal to 30 degree. Now in triangle BCE, angle CBE plus angle BCE plus angle CEB is equal to 180 degree. because of angle sum property. Now angle CBE will be written as it is. Angle CBD is equal to angle CBE. They can be written as either way. So it will be 30 degree plus angle BC is 90 degree and angle CEB. And angle CEB can be written as angle AEB is equal to 180 degree. Now angle AEB is equal to 180 degree minus 120 degree. Angle AEB is equal to 60 degree. Hence proved. Example number 4. It says that ABCD is a cyclic quadrilateral in which AC and BD are its diagonals. If angle DBC is equal to 55 degree and angle BAC is equal to 45 degree, we have to find the value of angle BCD. Now here DC is the diagonal, therefore angle CBD here we will DC is a chord, therefore angle CBD is equal to angle CAD. Since the angle in the segment of a circle are equal, now angle CAD will also be equal to 55 degree. Now angle A is equal to angle BAC plus angle CAD. Therefore angle A is equal to 45 degree plus 55 degree. Angle A is equal to 100 degree. Now since ABCD is a cyclic quadrilateral, therefore the sum of its opposite angles will be 180 degree, which means angle A plus angle C is equal to 180 degree since ABCD is a cyclic quadrilateral. Now angle A is 100 degree plus angle C is equal to 180 degree. Angle C is equal to 80 degree and angle C can be written as angle BCD. Example number 5. It says that two circles intersect at 2 points A and B. AD and AC are diameters to the two circles. We have to prove that B lies on the line segment DC. So now by construction we will join AB. Now in smaller circle we can see that angle ABD is equal to half of angle of AOD. Now since AOD is a diameter, which means its angle will be 180 degree, and its reason is the angle subtended by a chord at the center is double the angle subtended by it at any points, which means angle ABD will be half into 180 degree. Angle ABD is equal to 90 degree. We will mark this as 1. Now similarly in bigger circle we can see that angle ABC is equal to half of angle of angle O-C, and the reason is same, that the angle subtended by a chord at the center is double the angle subtended by it at any point. Therefore, and since O-C is a diameter, therefore ABC is equal to half of angle 180 degree, which means angle ABC is also equal to 90 degree. We'll mark this as 2. Now we will add 1 and 2, which means angle ABD plus angle ABC is equal to 90 degree plus 90 degree. Angle ABD plus angle ABC is equal to 180 degree. Since they both form these angles make the sum of 180 degree. Therefore, they form the pair of linear angles, which means they form a line segment. And B lies on the line segment DC. Example number 6. Prove that the quadrilateral formed, if possible, by the internal angle bisectors of any quadrilateral is cyclic. So in this, we have to prove that EFGH is a cyclic quadrilateral. So in this, we will start with in triangle AEB. Angle EAB plus angle EBA plus angle AEB is equal to 180 degree because of angle sum property. Now since these are angle bisectors, which means angle EAB can be written as half of angle of A and angle EBA can be written as half of angle of B. Therefore, angle AEB is equal to 180 degree minus half of angle of A minus half of angle of B. We will mark this as 1. Now similarly, in triangle DGC, now we can say that angle AEB is equal to angle FEH, since they are vertically opposite angles. Therefore, angle FEH is equal to 180 degree minus half of angle A plus B. We'll mark this as 1. Now similarly, in triangle GDC, angle GDC plus angle GCD plus angle CGD is equal to 180 degree because of angle sum property. Angle GDC can be written as half of angle of D and GCD can be written as half of angle of C. Therefore, angle CGD is equal to 180 degree minus half of angle C plus angle D. Now, angle CGD is equal to angle FGH, as they both are vertically opposite angles. Therefore, angle FGH is equal to 180 degree minus half of angle C plus angle D. We will mark this as 2. Now, we will add 1 and 2. Which is angle FEH plus angle FGH is equal to 180 degree minus half of angle A plus angle B plus 180 degree minus half of angle C plus angle D. Now 180 degree plus 180 degree is equal to 360 degree minus half of angle A plus angle B plus angle C plus angle D. Now angle A plus angle B plus angle C plus angle D is equal to 360 degree because of angle sum property of a quadrilateral, which means it is equal to 360 degree minus half of angle of 360 degree, which becomes 360 degree minus 180 degree, which is equal to 180 degree. Now angle FEH plus angle FGH is equal to 180 degree, and these are opposite angles. Since the sum of opposite angles of a quadrilateral is equal to 180 degree, therefore the quadrilateral EFGH is a cyclic quadrilateral. Now exercise 10.5, question number 1. It says that A, B and C are 3 points on a circle with center O, such that angle BOC is equal to 30 degree, angle AOB is equal to 60 degree. If D is any point on the circle Other than the arc ABC, find angle ADC. So in this, angle AOC can be written as angle AOB plus angle BOC. Now angle AOC will be equal to 60 degree plus 30 degree. Angle AOC is equal to 90 degree. Now we can say that angle AOC is equal to twice of angle of ADC. Since the angle subtended by an arc at the center is double the angle subtended by it at any point of the circle, which means we will put the values. Angle ADC is equal to 45 degree. Now question number 3. It says that angle PQR is equal to 100 degree, where P, Q and R are points on a circle with center O. We have to find the value of angle OPR. So in this, we will take a point S on the circle such that PQRS become a cyclic quadrilateral since all its vertices lie on the circle. Now angle Q plus angle S will be equal to 180 degree since opposite angles of a cyclic quadrilateral is equal to 180 degree. Now angle Q is 100 degree. Therefore angle S is equal to 80 degree. Now we can see that angle POR is equal to twice of angle of PSR. Why? Because the angle subtended by an arc at the center is double the angle subtended by it at any point of the arc. Now we will put the values. Angle POR is equal to twice of angle PSR, which is angle S, into 80 degree. Angle POR is equal to 160 degree. Now in triangle POR, we can see that PO is equal to OR since they both are the radius. Therefore their opposite angles will also be equal, which means angle ORP will be equal to angle OPR because of isosceles triangle property. Now in triangle OPR, angle ORP plus angle OPR plus angle POR is equal to 180 degree because of angle sum property. Now since angle ORP is equal to angle OPR, we can write it as 2 times of angle OPR plus angle POR, its value is 160 degree. Now twice of angle OPR is equal to 180 degree minus 160 degree, which is equal to 20 degree. Angle OPR is equal to 20 degree upon 2. Therefore angle OPR value is 10 degree. Question number 5. In this, A, B, C and D are 4 points on a circle. AC and BD intersect at point E such that angle BEC is equal to 130 degree and angle ECD is equal to 20 degree. We have to find the values of angle BAC. So in this, we will start with in line BED. Angle BEC plus angle CED will be equal to 180 degree since they form linear pair of angles. Now angle BEC 130 degree plus angle CED is equal to 180 degree. Therefore angle CED is equal to 180 degree minus 130 degree, which is equal to 50 degree. Now in triangle TEC, angle EDC plus angle CED plus angle DCE is equal to 180 degree because of angle sum property. Now angle EDC will be written as it is, and angle CED is equal to 50 degree. Angle TCE is given as 20 degree. Angle EDC will be equal to 180 degree minus 70 degree. Angle EDC is equal to 110 degree. Now we can see that angle EDC can be written as angle BDC, which will be equal to angle BAC. Why? Since the angle in the same segment of a circle are equal. Therefore, angle BAC is also equal to 110 degree. Question number 7. If diagonals of a cyclic quadrilateral are diameters of the circle through the vertices of the quadrilateral, prove that it is a rectangle. So in this we have to prove that ABCD is a rectangle. Since AC is the diameter, we can write this as angle ADC is equal to half of angle of AOC. Why? Because the angle subtended by an arc at the center of the circle is double the angle subtended by it at any point. Therefore, angle ADC is equal to half of angle of AOC, which is 180 degree. Therefore, angle ADC is equal to 90 degree. Now, since ABCD is a cyclic quadrilateral, we can write it as angle ADC is equal to plus angle ABC is equal to 180 degree. Why? Because since ABCD is a cyclic quadrilateral, therefore the sum of its opposite angle will be 180 degree. Therefore, angle ABC will also be 90 degree. Now, similarly, we can prove that angle DAB is also 90 degree, and angle DCB is also 90 degree. Now, since all the interior angles of the quadrilateral ABCD are 90 degree, therefore ABCD is a rectangle. Hence proved. Question number 9. It says that two circles intersect at 2 points B and C. Through B, two line segments ABD and PBQ are drawn to intersect the circle at A, D, P and Q respectively. We have to prove that angle ACP is equal to angle QCD. So in this, first we will join AP and DQ. So now, since AP is a chord, therefore angle ACP is equal to angle ABP. Therefore, angles in the same segment of a circle are equal. We will mark this as 1. Now similarly, in the smaller circle, angle QCD is equal to angle QBD, and the reason is same, that angles in the same segment are equal. We will mark this as 2. Now PQ and AD intersect at B, therefore angle ABP is equal to angle QBD, since they are vertically opposite angles. We'll mark this as 3. Now by comparing 1, 2 and 3, you can see that angle ACP is equal to angle ABT ABP and angle ABP is equal to angle QBD, and angle QBD is equal to angle QCD. Hence, we can say that angle ACP is equal to angle QCD. Hence, proved. Question number 11. ABC and ADC are two right triangles with common hypotenuse AC. We have to prove that angle CAD is equal to angle CBD. Now, since ABC and ADC are right triangles, which means angle ABC and angle ADC are 90 degree. Therefore, we will add these angles, which means angle ABC plus angle ADC is equal to 90 degree plus 90 degree. Angle ABC plus angle ADC is equal to 180 degree. Now, since the sum of opposite angles of a quadrilateral is equal, therefore we can say that ABCD is a cyclic quadrilateral, which means its vertices lie on the circle. So now we can say that angle CD is equal to angle CBD, as the angles on the same segment of a circle are equal. Hence proved.